You don't want to go into space?
No.
Hell no.
No way.
Space is scary.
If you think you're going to steal a TV in this neighborhood, not on my watch, mother.
I apologize in advance.
You'll make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. L'chaim. Xi Jinping. What a asshole. Raising the tariff prices. Temu is fucked.
All the way.
All the way.
Yes.
Katy Perry went to space. Her boobs got bigger.
Yes.
Jeff Bezos has a spaceship, apparently, and a bunch of rich celebrity ladies went to space.
Yeah. She said she wanted to go to see Uranus, and when she comes back, we want to see, well, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
So I don't have to finish that.
We need to see her starfish. Her chocolate starfish.
Speaking about that, Gail King was there.
Oh, yeah. Yeesh.
Yeesh.
I don't want to see that one.
Good grief. Imagine that. She's in there and she's like, I'm just going to let one out. And it just fucking...
It just blows a hole in the ship.
Oh, my goodness.
All crew members are dead.
That'd be great. She's like best friends with Oprah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Fucking
That's,
Oprah.
ugh, yeah. So Katy Perry brought a daisy into outer space to represent her 4-year-old daughter named Daisy. And Gail King brought a dildo.
So yeah, Jeff Bezos' spaceship, Blue Origin, had a crew full of ladies, which sounds like my own personal hell. They included entrepreneur Lauren Sanchez, a former NASA scientist named Amanda Wynn, Katy Perry, singer Katy Perry, huge tits, TV presenter and Oprah's butt buddy, Gail King, another NASA scientist, Aisha Bowe, and a film producer, Carrie Ann Flynn, who has produced nothing but bullshit.
Yeah, she has a movie she produced called Automatic Hate, and that's what you get right when you watch a shitty fucking film. Automatically hate.
You guys
that thing.
haven't seen the movie.
That's also what I get when I think about Gail King. Automatic hate.
Yes.
So yeah, the New Shepard rocket, the suborbital mission. All these ladies were there and got to experience that, which is kind of cool. You know, whatever.
Yeah, Katy Perry in that tight suit like that. You know, people are loving that. She's going to come
they
back
were.
and sell moon milk, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's wild. You know, Oprah somehow got Gail King on that fucking dumbass flight. Somehow, some way.
She probably funded it. Oprah's rich.
That's her backup space shuttle.
Yeah.
Oprah's, yep. When the other three crash and break down, that's what she take. Good grief.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So you're calling it a dumb spaceship, but you're telling me you don't want to be on it? You don't want to go into space?
Fuck no.
Hell no.
No way.
Space is scary.
Oh
no-
my gosh.
You get sucked out of a window.
And then, knowing my luck, I'd like bump into dumbass George Clooney floating around. Like, I don't need this stupid fucker.
Him and what's his name from
Sandra
Interstellar. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yes.
We're gonna bump into all of them, just floating around.
That'd be cool with Matt. Matt's cool.
Yeah, he's funny.
Heck yes, he'd
You're
make it
calling
all right.
him Matt?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we're gonna be famous one of these days, and he needs to be cool. We're cool. Matty Cakes. I'll call him Matty Cakes.
Yeah, we're gonna have him on the show one day.
Hell yeah. All right, all right.
I'll start working on that now.
Just do it.
That's what I love about those high school girls. I get older, and they stay the same age. Yes, they do. I love him.
Did you ever watch True Detective?
No.
He's good in that too. He's like, time is a flat circle. Yeah, it sure is, folks.
Yes.
He's
great.
like an alcoholic in the show.
You would really go into outer space, Sarah? For real?
I would do our podcast in outer space. I would, yes, I
If
would
Jeff-
love outer space.
If Jeff Bezos pulled in the driveway right now with his lazy eye and his shit haircut, and he was like, hey, hop in, we're going to go into outer space.
You just be like, all right.
Only if he gets a haircut that works for me. But
Isn't he
yes.
bald? Isn't he
He's
bald?
bald, yes.
I don't, you're bringing up his haircut. Yes, I would love that. That'd be incredible.
You know his
Yes.
spaceship looks like a dick, right?
Oh, it does, yes.
Look at it. It looks just like a dick.
Yep.
I will look it up later.
You just want to fly in a
Or
hard
not.
cock.
And it's weird. To start it up, you got to rub the outside of it.
Yes,
You got to get to the tip. You got to go to the tip or it's not going to take off. It's like, okay. I don't like this.
Don't you guys want me in space for a few weeks anyways?
It's crazy.
No.
It's crazy that Bezos and Elon have better spaceships than NASA.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Like, they got more money than fucking NASA.
Didn't Elon, bail NASA out?
Yeah, he
with his-
did. And did you see his spaceship land? That shit was smooth.
On the fucking money.
Yeah.
I can't even park halfway decent.
I
His
know.
damn spaceship is... Oh, man.
Yeah, NASA's got shit blowing up all over the time, and he's just, parking his spaceship like it's his Rolls.
Right on the mark.
It was.
Unless you're his wife, then she's like, he can't find any fucking mark.
Yeah. He's got... Do you know Elon? He's got, 15 kids.
Damn.
He's got a bunch.
Oh my goodness! Isn't he not Asperger's or autistic? Isn't there a little something?
He's on the
that's-
spectrum.
He's on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Love on the spectrum. Have you seen Love on the Spectrum?
Yeah, it's weird.
I haven't seen it, but everybody says you're gonna feel bad, but you are gonna fucking laugh.
Yeah. Oh, you're
You're gonna.
It's interesting.
Yeah. You're trying to be PC right now.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, that is great. I saw somebody, I forget who it was. Just has horrible luck with women and all that, and he just got pissed. He goes, the fucking are finding marriages and love, and I can't do shit. That is horrible.
One episode I saw, the dude takes his girlfriend to Africa or something on a safari because she loves the Lion King or something. So they're sitting there just having dinner or whatever, and he just starts singing, "Can you feel the love?" And she's like, "Oh, that's so sweet." It's like, this guy sounds like shit.
Sarah's shaking her head like she has Parkinson's again. She's not liking this.
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. Oh, that is bad. Heck yes.
So today we're going to be talking about a very interesting case. Kitty Genovese, who was actually a suggestion from one of our faithful listeners. Right, Sarah?
Woohoo!
Fucking A. So yeah, he suggested this to us. So we're going to go ahead and do it. It's going to be good. Here it comes. Kitty Genovese. She was a 28-year-old bartender who was raped, stabbed, and murdered outside her apartment in Queens, New York. The crime committed against her has led to a phenomenon that has become known as the bystander effect, or the Genevese syndrome.
Yeah, the bystander effect. That's where people sit around and do nothing when there's a problem.
Yep.
This is Consumers Power's business model during an outage. No, but seriously, the bystander effect. I see Sarah looking at me. Fuck consumers. We're going to ruin those motherfuckers.
Yeah, you didn't have power for 4 or 5 days, right?
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah, crazy. Those fucking assholes.
I thought, for a long time, I thought I could go Amish. Fuck yes. No, I can't.
Yeah.
There's no way.
It's crazy how much you miss it when you don't have it. And it's like I can do this, but nope.
Oh yeah.
I need
No.
I need to watch some TV. I need to watch some internets, all that.
Yes, I'm driving by some Amish people a while ago, and I'm like, they have got to wash their fucking balls. Good grief.
They do smell.
Yeah.
Have you ever been close to one?
No, I haven't.
My parents had their barn built by the Amish. They don't believe in deodorant, and they smell like the Canadians call them schmellies. They smell like fucking BO, man.
They smell earthy.
Earthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does manure and dog shit in a park, because that's earthy too.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is crazy. I didn't know it. Because some of those Amish chicks are kind of hot.
Yeah.
It's like, dang.
Yeah, they show you a little ankle, and you're like, damn.
Yes. I mean, you got to pull back the hair, but yeah, there's something behind there.
Yeah.
Rumspringa coming, motherfuckers. Yes.
They get to go. Like Scott said, on the Rumspringer, and they're going English. They get to whore it up for a while.
Test the waters.
Yeah, see if they like it.
Yep. And
Take a shower.
I have that written right on the front of my banana hammock. Test the waters. No, I want to grow my pubes out looking like a fucking Amish beard. A little taste of home, so when they kind of miss it a little bit,
Yeah.
here it is.
Yeah, it's like a full beard, but they don't have the mustache. So you got to make them feel at home, like they're back with their dads.
Yeah, it's like Hulk Hogan in your crotch. Got that awesome little thing going on. No, fuck consumers, all right? Seriously.
Yeah.
But no, the bystander effect is where the larger the group of people that witness something horribly bad, the less likely they are to take action. And this is the same reason people stay for the entire James Taylor concert.
Yes.
I almost said Foo Fighters just to make you mad, Sarah, because you're so in love with that.
Dave Grohl.
Yes. And I am going to trash
Yes,
consumers
yes.
a lot in this episode.
Yeah.
Big time.
Fuck them.
Everybody lost power. And these were some bad storms that hit all the Midwest.
Yep.
I saw a trailer park obliterated, Cooper, completely on the news. This one lady said she lost her entire life savings. And you know what that means? All 7 of her Dale Earnhardt NASCAR commemorative plates probably shattered.
Yeah,
That's
and her like clamshell like Disney VHS movies. She's like,
Yes.
I can get like $20 for these.
It's a mess. They always interview these weird old women. I don't know if they're in a nightgown / shower curtain.
Yeah,
It's like
a little moo.
no teeth. You always want to ask, did the fucking storm take the teeth too?
Right.
It's like, ugh. Whatever. Anyway, no, the bystander effect is where the larger the group of people, the less likely they're going to do something.
Yep.
So, because they always think somebody's going to step up and stop this horrible thing that's going on.
Yeah, exactly. And the New York Times, they published an article claiming that 37 witnesses saw or heard the attack that occurred on Kitty, and none of them called the police or tried to aid her. And the bystander effect term was coined as a result of this article in the New York Times.
37 people. That's more views than the new Snow White.
Yeah, I can't imagine that movie's any good.
No.
You know.
What are you telling me? Okay, Snow White is what?
Yeah, Snow White's Mexican. Little Mermaid's black.
Pinocchio's Jewish. You see his nose.
Yeah, the right hates that. They're
Yes.
like, fuck you,
Yeah. They do hate
MAGA.
that.
We want everything white.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So subsequent investigations revealed that the extent of the public apathy was exaggerated. Researchers have since uncovered major inaccuracies in the New York Times article. Police interviews revealed that some witnesses did attempt to contact the authorities, and in 1964, reporters discovered that the Times article was inconsistent with the facts.
1964.
Yeah.
Man, and it was like, what, 2 months before 2 months after the JFK assassination.
After, yeah, 1964, crazy year.
This was a long time ago.
Yeah. But at the time, the authorities, the news authorities were unwilling to challenge the New York Times editor by the name of Abe Rosenthal. He was a well-known Pulitzer Prize winner, author, and editor, and they were just like, we're not going to question this guy.
Yeah, no.
He's Jewish. He won a Pulitzer Prize. He survived the Holocaust. Whatever he says is right.
Yup, we're not going to fuck with that.
Years later, in 2007, an article in the American Psychologist found no evidence for the presence of so many witnesses or that they remained inactive. In 2016, the New York Times called its own reporting flawed, stating the original story grossly exaggerated the number of witnesses that they had originally perceived. So yeah, I mean, this is a tragedy. There were, as we'll see here shortly, several people that witnessed things, didn't really do a whole hell of a lot, but 37 people, no, probably not.
I don't even think 37 people live in the entire fucking apartment complex.
Yeah,
So-
it's hard. It's hard to say. However, this article started a whole movement and scientific researches that have gone into this whole bystander effect, which we'll get into here a little bit later. So yeah, that was a little bit about Kitty Genovese. Now we're going to talk about this piece of shit that killed her.
Yes.
He looks like if Prince and Michael Jackson had a baby that was ugly as fuck.
Yes.
He was a 29-year-old Manhattan native, and he was arrested during a house burglary 6 days after the murder of Kitty Genovese. While he was in custody, he confessed to killing her. At his trial, Mosley was found guilty of murder and sentenced to death. His sentence, though, was later commuted to a life imprisonment. Mosley died really not that long ago in March of 2016 at the age of 81, having served 52 years in prison, which made him one of the longest term of any inmate in the New York State penal system.
What a waste of money and time.
Yes, absolutely.
Why couldn't they pay somebody in 1964 to just off
to
him?
shank him?
Yes.
Yeah,
Just
I know.
take him out. Yeah, they call it Wobbly Tooth Winston. They caught him because he was trying to steal a TV.
He did.
Have you seen the size of the TVs back then?
Yeah.
They
It weighed like 150 pounds.
Easily. These things were fucking massive. You know, all solid wood. It would take like 4 trees in the redwood forest to drop to make this damn TV.
Yes.
And he's trying to haul it around.
Yep.
Oh my god! I remember my grandma had a microwave. I remember it was 1985. She bought a brand new microwave. This thing was gargantuous.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the wheels in the microwave back then. So if you want to
Right.
turn stuff around, you can literally open this fucking microwave, walk in, turn your popcorn around, and make it even popping, and walk back out.
Yeah. Like if you stand too close to it, it's like 100% going to give you like testicular cancer.
Yes, we used to play Chernobyl. Put my cousins in there and shut it for about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Good grief! My goodness.
Yeah. So Mosley, which this is kind of interesting fact, he wasn't like some loner weirdo dude. He was married and he actually had 3 children. And at the time that he murdered Kitty, he had no previous criminal record that they knew of. So during the police interrogation, Mosley said his motive was simply to kill a woman. We've all been there, but he just wanted to kill a girl, saying he preferred to kill women because they were easier and didn't fight back. Which is, I mean, he was if you look at pictures of this guy, he's pretty small. So
I've never had the urge to kill anybody until somebody fucks up my food order and I get home and find out. Oh, then it's on.
yes,
Like, I do not want mayonnaise on anything at all. I watched a special. It was on the Oprah show when I was like 9, and they're doing liposuction. And they're showing, they're pumping all this fat into this jar, and it looked just like Hellman's. I'm like, this is Hellman's. So ever since then, I
can't do it.
Oh, I can't do it.
Yeah. So Mosley stated during the interrogation that he woke up the night of March 19th around 2 a.m. while his wife was at work. She was a nurse that worked a night shift, and he drove around Queens to look for a victim. Mosley saw Kitty on her way home, followed her to a parking lot before killing her. While in police custody, he also confessed to murdering and raping 2 other women. So, as we said, he didn't have a criminal record prior to killing Kitty, but he sure as fuck had one now.
Oh, yeah.
And he also admitted to committing 30 or 40 burglaries. Subsequent psychiatric examinations suggested that Mosley was also a necrophiliac. So,
So for those who don't know what that is, a necrophiliac is, that's where you have sex with dead people. Now, not all necrophiliacs are bad. Mitch McConnell's wife is a great person. I love when Mitch McConnell just freezes up in Congress. I fucking love it. You can see his brain buffering in real time.
yeah, it does look like that, like a video, like trying to.
Yes. He gives the same look Jared from Subway gave when he was caught with his hands in a 4-year-old's pants. Just frozen. Frozen. Kind of like my fucking house when shitty-ass consumers can't make their restoration timeline.
Yeah.
Frozen.
Yeah.
But no, my parenting beliefs align perfectly with Jared from Subway's dating beliefs. Children come first at all times.
So there was never any necrophiliac activities that we really found regarding Mosley, but the psychiatrists thought he was. So we're going to go ahead and go with that.
Oh.
Yeah. So Mosley was charged with the murder of Kitty, but he was not charged with the other 2 murders that he had confessed to. The complicating factor with that was another man, Alvin Mitchell, had also confessed to one of the murders, which is weird. Why are 2 separate guys confessing to murdering this other woman?
Unless they're both going to the same prison that like serves fucking Olive Garden, has like a resort in there and everything. I killed that bitch.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So Mosley would go on to appear as a defense witness in the trial of Alvin Mitchell for the murder after he was granted immunity from prosecution for it. So he basically testified on the behalf of the defense that he killed this woman and Alvin couldn't have, which is weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. And this trial produced actually a hung jury, but Mitchell was actually later convicted in a second trial. So Mosley got immunity for testifying, but this guy was actually found guilty anyway, so it didn't fucking matter. And Mosley was already sentenced and on death row, so fuck him. So Mosley initially pleaded not guilty, and this is for the killing of Kitty. His attorney later changed the plea to a guilty by reason of insanity.
Yeah, the only thing insane here was his crooked ass teeth. His smile looks like he's never lost some of his baby teeth. He's got one big ass front tooth and one small one. Looks like Shaq and Kevin Hart sitting next side by side.
Yeah.
Fucking Stonehenge coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, he's an unfortunate looking guy. He's got like really greasy ass looking hair. Just fucking weird guy.
Terrifying.
So during the trial for the murder of Kitty, he described the events on the night he murdered her. The jury deliberated for 7 hours before returning a unanimous guilty verdict. This is pretty messed up what happened here. In 1968, Mosley actually escaped from prison while he was being transported back to prison from the Meyer Memorial Hospital in Buffalo, where he had undergone a minor surgery for a self-inflicted injury. So he hit the transporting corrections officer, stole his weapon, and fled to a nearby vacant home owned by a Grand Island couple, where he stayed undetected for 3 days.
He was faking like he was sleeping, so they didn't handcuff him.
Yeah.
And then he just hops up, punches him, takes his gun, runs out the back of the car. How did the cops not catch him? Did they just fucking give up when he ran around the corner?
And I'm always dumbfounded all the shit this dude did, and he's so little.
Tiny.
Like he probably weighs like 90 pounds, and this correction officer just got the shit beat out of him by him.
Put a Jerry curl on Karen Carpenter, and you got this fucking wobbly tooth bastard.
Exactly.
Did he hurt himself to do all this?
That's a good point. He may have.
All right.
Yeah.
He ran around the fucking corner, and they just gave up the search.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't see him anymore, Randy. Yeah. Let's just go back.
Oh, he went in that vacant house. I guess he's free.
Gone forever. Idiots.
So on March 21st, they went to check on their house when they encountered Mosley, and he subsequently held them hostage for more than an hour, binding and gagging him and raping the wife. So this motherfucker tried to commit suicide, whatever, self-inflicted wound, went to the hospital, got patched up, beat the shit out of a corrections officer, escaped, and then raped some other woman.
A wife.
Yeah.
With the husband present, it sounds like.
Yeah, he probably liked it, but yes.
Probably liked
That's not appropriate.
Yes.
He then took the couple's car. So he ties up the husband, rapes the wife, and then steals their fucking car. Sounds like a normal day in Detroit.
Yes.
And fled.
He was in this house for 3 days.
Yep.
3 days, undetected. This is the crazy fact people don't know, is he was only 2,000 feet from the jail. That's where the house was.
Close by, yeah.
I would DoorDash food to the jail in my name just to fuck with people. Like, heck yes.
So after stealing the car and raping the wife, Mosley traveled to Grand Island, where on March 22nd, he broke into another fucking house and held a woman and her daughter hostage for 2 hours before releasing them unharmed. He then surrendered to police shortly after and was charged with escaping and kidnapping, to which he pleaded guilty. Mosley was given 2 additional 15-year sentences to run concurrently with his life sentence. So yeah, after he, serves his 2 life sentences, he had an additional 15. This is kind of a cool thing. In September cool, is relative. But in September of 1971, Mosley actually participated in the Attica prison riot.
Yeah. 39 people were killed in this prison riot, but only 1 officer and 3 prisoners were killed by fellow prisoners. The rest were fucking blown to pieces by corrections officers and state patrolmen.
Yep.
Can you imagine that? Like, hey, Frank, you know how you fantasize about killing every prisoner here at work?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, whatever you do, don't call in sick Thursday because we got a treat for you.
Yeah. And this was, to date, as far as I know, the deadliest prison riot on record.
They mowed them down.
Yeah, they killed them. It lasted for several days. It was a bad one.
Yeah. These riots were caused by inmates protesting for better living conditions, Cooper, and fair treatment of prisoners. So to fight for that, they decide to trash out the entire prison, hold 9 people hostage, kill fellow inmates. That's like going to work and demanding for stronger sexual harassment regulations and smacking everybody in the face with your dick until it's approved.
Absolutely. Yep.
I don't understand this.
Yeah, it's a very famous riot. It's been depicted in movies. It was a big thing. There was a lot of protests that happened after that.
Who yelled Attica in that one movie? Was that Dustin Hoffman? Was that...
It was Pacino.
Pacino.
He was like, Attica in Dog Day Afternoon. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So later in the same decade, so in the 70s, Mosley actually obtained a Bachelor of Arts in Sociology while in prison from Niagara University. And he became eligible for parole in 1984. During his first parole hearing, he told the parole board that his notoriety that he faced due to his crimes made him a victim, stating, "For a victim outside, it's a one-time or 1 hour or 1 minute affair, but for the person who's caught, it's forever." So this motherfucker, he killed this woman. He killed probably more than one woman, and he's trying to make himself sound like the fucking victim.
Yep.
Yeah.
They hurt my feelings because they were right about me being a piece of shit.
Yeah. I killed her, but I'm the victim because I have to live with it forever. Well, you shouldn't have killed her then, you piece of shit.
Idiot.
At the same hearing, Mosley actually claimed he never intended to kill Genevese. So, yeah, the great dude.
Which time? The first time he stabbed her or the second?
Yeah, fucking right. And that he considered her murder to be a mugging because people do kill when they mug them sometimes.
You would know, Wobbly Tooth Winston.
Yeah. And thankfully, the board denied his request for parole.
I would fuck with him. I would have I'd say, if you really want to be free, we need to know that you went through the shit. So I'd have all the board members shit on a plate, make them eat it, and go, just joking. You're going back to your cell, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. So Mosley returned for a parole hearing March 13th of 2008, which was the 44th anniversary of Kitty's murder. And he continued to show little remorse for her murder, and the parole was again denied. Good. Kitty's brother, Vincent, was unaware of the 2008 hearing until he was contacted by reporters for the New York Daily News, and he has reportedly never recovered from his sister's murder. He had a whole documentary that he did. It's called The Witness. He doesn't have any legs. It's really crazy. Check it out. It's very interesting though, even though he doesn't have any legs.
Yeah, he was in Vietnam.
Yeah, blown off by a landmine. Crazy.
It's like the inspiration for Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs. Yeah. And at one point during the film, he's doing some yard work with his son, and they're talking about the murder, and he's on his little nubs picking up sticks and shit. And he's wearing suspenders.
Nubs.
He's wearing suspenders. Like, why?
What are you holding up?
Yeah, what are you holding up? You don't got any legs, man. You're not fooling anybody.
That is crazy. At the end of Forrest Gump, when he's getting married and Lieutenant Dan shows up and he's got, "You got legs, Lieutenant Dan," but he's got like that Chinese wife.
Yeah.
I would have loved if Forrest just went right back to fucking shell shock mode.
Yeah, he just started having PTSD flashbacks.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie's
in the trees.
Goes in the house and pulls out a gun right during the fucking wedding.
Just wastes her.
Knocks his wife off the porch. "You AIDS infected, huh?"
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome. You know he gave her fucking AIDS. She
Yeah.
gave him AIDS. There's no way he
did.
does not have AIDS. I need that movie to end with him having AIDS.
Yeah, because he fucked Jenny, right? And
Yeah.
She had AIDS for sure.
And they had a kid.
Yeah. They all had AIDS.
And what's funny is retardation, I don't think that's hereditary, is it?
I don't think so.
Unless you're from the South or you're, I'm not going to say a Michigan fan. Oh, yes.
I thought you guys were going to get into the movie Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
That felt
No.
like a segue into
That's
Philadelphia
that's another Tom Hanks movie, so that kind of works.
Yeah, no.
regarding AIDS.
AIDS.
Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah.
so what you're saying is Forrest Gump became the Philadelphia guy.
Yep.
The AIDS ate away his retardation.
And Bubba Gump really didn't die. He just became a lawyer,
Yeah.
a hot lawyer played by Denzel.
Yeah.
Bingo.
That's pretty good.
That's how it all works out.
Yeah, it's like,
Yes.
yeah. So so he reportedly never recovered from his sister's murder. He has a big documentary. Check it out. It's pretty good. And this brings back what happened to her. Vincent had said regarding and the whole family remembers the whole anniversary and the parole hearing and all that, just because we got off track there a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
So Mosley was denied parole, and this was the 18th time in November of 2015, and he died, thankfully, in prison on March 28th, 2016, at the age of 81. And he had served 52 years, and like I said earlier, making him one of the longest serving inmates in the New York State prison system.
18 times.
Fuck him, I'm glad.
Yes. Why would they even consider it?
I don't even know. Like, you give him a life sentence, why do you even get parole hearings?
Ever.
Yeah.
No.
So now we're just going to go over a little bit about Kitty Genovese. Her full name was Catherine Susan Genevese. She was the eldest of 5 children born to Italian-American parents. Kitty was raised Catholic and lived in a brownstone in Park Slope, which was a western Brooklyn neighborhood populated mainly by families of Italian and Irish heritage. Can you imagine just a bunch of Italians and Irish?
Oh, yeah. It's fucking MMA city all day. It's fight night.
Yeah, potatoes and pasta, man.
Yes.
Kitty attended an all-girls high school, which I wish I would have attended an all-girls high school. She was recalled as being self-assured beyond her years and was said to have a sunny disposition.
You could have been like a gym teacher at this all-girls school.
Yeah, that would have been sweet.
My dream, volleyball coach. High school girls.
Yeah.
They volley the ball back 2 or 3 times. All right, let's hit the showers. We're going to run a clean program. All right.
In 1954, after Kitty's mother actually witnessed a murder, a lot of murders happening in New York. She witnessed a murder, and the family, because the mother was super traumatized by the whole situation, they actually moved to Connecticut. Kitty, having recently graduated high school, she actually didn't want to move away from New York. So she remained in Brooklyn with her grandparents. This is kind of strange. Later that year, Kitty actually got married, but shortly after had the marriage annulled due to the fact that she was, in fact, like Sarah, a lesbian.
Yes.
Kitty worked a lot of clerical jobs, which she found unappealing, not surprising. In the late 1950s, she actually accepted a job as a bartender. In August of 61, she was actually arrested for bookmaking, as her Italian heritage coming out there.
Yes.
She had been taking bets from the bar patrons on the ponies, the horse races. She was actually fired from her job and fined $50, which, you know, in today's currency is, I don't know, $500,000 probably.
With the tariffs. Yep.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
So after this, she obtained another bartending position at Eve's 11th Hour Bar in Queens. She was actually soon promoted to bar manager. She worked double shifts and was saving money in the hope of opening her own Italian restaurant where lesbians and Sarah would be welcome.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And feel at home.
Yes.
No meatballs. There'd be no fucking meatballs.
No meatballs, straight butter noodles and sauce.
Yes.
I thought it was meatloaf.
Oh yeah, no, girls can't make meatloaf apparently.
Oh my
No, they can't. We talked about that in the last podcast.
If you're a lesbian and you're a female, you can't make meatloaf.
What about
Nope.
vegetarian meatloaf?
That sounds
That sounds
lesbian
terrible.
like.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she shared an apartment with her girlfriend, Mary Ann. She had been her girlfriend since 1963. Mary actually died here somewhat recently in 2024 at the age of 85. That's one old lesbian.
Yes.
So now we're going to get into the actual murder. This is a tough one a little bit. It's this guy was a piece of shit. There are some people that didn't do shit to help this girl.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't as many as the New York Times said, but there were 2 guys in particular that didn't do much. They could have and that didn't. So at approximately 2:30 a.m., March 13th, 1964, Kitty left work and began driving home, where she was spotted by this piece of shit, Winston Mosley, who was sitting in his parked car. Kitty arrived home at around 3:15 a.m. because New York traffic is fucking shit. Parked her car in a parking lot, which was about 100 feet from the door to her apartment. in an alleyway at the rear of the building, and armed with a hunting knife, Mosley approached Kitty. Kitty, upon seeing Mosley, ran towards the front of the building, and Mosley ran after her, overtook her, and stabbed her twice in the back. Kitty screamed, allegedly, "Oh my God, he stabbed me, help me." Several neighbors heard her cry, but only a few of them recognized the sound as a cry for help. Robert Moser, one of the neighbors, shouted at the attacker, "Hey, let that girl alone."
Yeah, and then dead seriously, he went back to bed.
He did. That's like classic New York.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck guys, I'm going to bed.
First, and then you said only a few of them recognize the sound as a cry for help. Does everybody in New York yell, "Oh God, he stabbed me, help me"?
Yeah.
No, so this piece of shit goes back to bed. How the hell do you go back to bed after that?
Yeah.
That would be a great Posturepedic mattress commercial. Posturepedic. Sleep through anything. Have fucking OJ do the ad.
Yeah. I mean, and this is one of two men who, and we'll get into the other guy here in just a second, that actually saw something and didn't really do a whole hell of a lot.
I wish Wobbly Tooth Winston would have broken into Robert's house.
Yeah.
Butt fuck the shit out of him. Because I want to know what Robert says. "Hey, get your dick out my ass," and then go back to bed. Fucking idiot.
So at this point, Mosley ran away. So he stabs her twice. The guy yells at him. He fucking runs away. Kitty at this point made her way. She was on the street at this time, walking along the street, and she made her way toward the rear of the building, there was actually a back entrance to her apartment building. She was seriously injured, and at this point, out of view of witnesses. Witnesses, though, saw Mosley run away, enter his car, drive away, and then 10 minutes later return. When he again approached Kitty, she was barely conscious, lying in a hallway at the back of the building where a locked door had prevented her from going inside. She was out of view of the street, and of those that may have heard or seen any sign of the initial attack, Mosley stabbed her several more times, raped her, and stole $49 from her, and ran away again like a fucking piece of shit pussy.
Yes.
The attacks spanned approximately half an hour, and knife wounds on Kitty's hands and arms suggested that she had attempted to defend herself. Her neighbor and friend, a Sophia Farah, found Kitty shortly after the second attack and held her in her arms, whispering, "Help is on the way," until an ambulance arrived.
A half an hour. So these dumb fucks, they could watch an entire episode of Leave It to Beaver while this whole damn thing's going on,
Yeah.
and they did nothing.
Yeah.
Another one, Joseph Fink, he was another neighbor. He heard everything was going on, so he, instead of doing anything, he called two friends, asked them what he should do. Then he was on the second story of the apartment. He climbed out a window, went across the roof to another friend's house, climbed in his friend's window. This dude would rather do fucking rooftop parkour than help a woman being murdered.
Yeah.
And then when asked why he didn't do anything, he said he didn't want to get involved and that he was gay, and he knew it was illegal to be gay back then in New York. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know it was illegal.
Yeah, he said that. He knew it was illegal to be gay and he didn't want to get caught. Like, let's say he was drunk driving and the cops pull him over and say, all right, Joseph, you blew twice the legal limit, but we also found semen on the breathalyzer. So now we got you on something way worse than drunk driving.
Yes.
What a fucking idiot. And wouldn't going to jail be the best thing for a gay person? You're locked up in a cell with somebody else all that whole time to talk about your feelings and emotions.
Yeah.
Right, Sarah?
Yeah, can you weigh in, Sarah?
Yeah.
Being a lesbian?
Oh, shit, they're going to really think
No.
she is. Oh, that's awesome. And then the scariest thing you ever have to worry about is prison rape, shower rape. It's fucking amazing.
It's like a vacation.
Yes. Sign me up.
Yes.
So no, I can't believe these fucking idiots did nothing at all.
Yeah, there was also another man that I neglected. When she was being stabbed the second time in the stairwell, another one of her neighbors came out of his apartment, looked at what was happening, and just went back inside like a fucking asshole.
Whoa.
Records of the earliest calls to police are unclear, but the calls were not given a high priority. The incident occurred 4 years before New York City implemented the 911 emergency call system. People called the cops on a regular number. There was no 911 at this point in time, at least not in New York City. So at least 2 calls were made to police. One reported that a woman was beaten up, but had gotten up and was staggering around.
Back then, that just meant she burned her husband's dinner.
Yeah, so that's why there was the cops had no high priority.
You see women walking around all beat up and staggering, like, that bitch burned the meatloaf.
Yeah, they're like, I understand. I do the same shit to my wife. So Kitty was picked up by ambulance at 4:15 a.m. That was approximately an hour after she had been stabbed by Mosley. She actually died while en route to the hospital. This murder was something that helped create the 911 system. Like I said, up until the late 60s, there was no centralized number to call in case of an emergency.
Most importantly with this 911 thing is it revitalized William Shatner's career with that show. I don't know if you've ever seen Rescue 911.
I do remember that show, yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everybody survived. And
Yeah.
at the end of the show, he'd always say, and she survived after a CPR. Or she just once, I wanted to say, and that bitch won't be cheating on her husband again because she's fucking dead. And then he does like a hip shotgun blast motion right in front of the camera.
Oh, Shatner would do that shit too.
Yeah, but before 911, according to these idiots like Fink and Mosier and all that, you had to call a friend who called their friend who called the first friend to tell you to not get involved.
Yeah. And then maybe somebody would call a fucking cop.
And as all this is going on, how about we just do rooftop parkour? You run from my room to your room and...
Yeah. I mean, the New York Times article about 37 witnesses was exaggerated, but there were a couple of real pieces of shit that could have done more than they did in this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit about the police investigation that followed the murder of Kitty. Mary Ann, who was Kitty's girlfriend and roommate, Sarah was there too, I think, allegedly.
I was not.
Oh yeah, you weren't born yet. She was questioned by detectives at 7 a.m. on the morning after the murder. Really only 3 hours, give or take, after Kitty was picked up by the ambulance. She was later interrogated for 6 hours by 2 homicide detectives, and their questions centered on her relationship to Kitty.
You know those idiot cops probably only ask about their sexual adventures.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have any pictures or film of these escapades, do you? For investigating purposes.
Right. You do? That's disgusting. Where can I find them? This was also the police's focus when they questioned neighbors. Initially, Mary Ann was actually considered a suspect in this murder.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, crazy. So on March 19th, 6 days after the stabbing, fucking Mosley, he was arrested for suspected robbery. Like we talked about earlier, he was stealing a television.
A big-ass television.
Somehow he got the TV in his trunk of his car. Cars did have some big-ass trunks back then. And the car was searched after a local man, Raoul Cleary, became suspicious when he saw Mosley removing the television from a neighbor's house. Cleary questioned Mosley, who claimed to be like a removal worker or like a mover. However, after consulting another neighbor who was able to confirm that the homeowners were not moving, Cleary called the police. The other neighbor, a man named Jack Brown, great name, Jack Brown.
Awesome.
He disabled Mosley's car. So I don't know how he did that. He crawled under that motherfucker and cut the fuel lines or something.
Yeah, I want to know how he disabled it.
I know.
He just took the fucking car keys?
Yeah.
Or...
Whatever old Jackie Brown did to disable it, Mosley wasn't able to drive away, and he was unable to escape before the police arrived.
Okay, let me get this straight. You can stab a woman, park your car down the street, come back, stab her again, rape her, steal all of her money, all in front of people. But if you think you're going to steal a TV in this neighborhood, not on my watch, motherfucker.
Not on Jack Brown's watch.
Not on Jack Brown's watch.
Fuck you, Mosley.
He probably has a watch that says that. Fuck you, Mosley.
He does. I would. Yeah. So one of the detectives recalled a car similar to Mosley's that had been reported by some of the witnesses for Kitty's murder. During questioning, as we said earlier as well, Mosley actually confessed to the murder of Kitty and 2 other women. Annie Mae Johnson, who had been shot and burned to death in her apartment, and a 15-year-old named Barbara Kralik, who had been killed in her parents' home the previous year. So yeah, there's a couple of interesting things that have happened in TV shows. And what was the thing on Curb Your Enthusiasm where the guy was acquitted?
Yeah, somebody was supposed to be, well, I think it was the Dodgers game.
Yeah, it's Dodgers game.
The Dodgers game. They said that he was a part of a murder. You can see it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Where it was in his neighborhood. Somebody was shot and killed, and
he was like the prime suspect.
Yep, these asshole lawyers, these prosecutors were like, nope, it was you. You lived in that area. You had beef with these people. We know it's you. And he's like, no, I was at the baseball game.
Yeah.
Well, can you prove it? And he said, no, I can't. I don't have my ticket stub. I don't know how to prove it. And he was like days from going to prison for life for a shoot up that he did not do. And then Curb Your Enthusiasm, one of the Seinfeld creators,
Larry David,
was doing a show of his show, and they're recording
at Dodger Stadium. They were filming. Yeah.
Yep. And that dude walks right in front of the camera and starts walking down the steps.
Yep. Alibi.
I would lose my. I guess he got a lot of money in the settlement because they wanted to fucking ruin him.
Yeah, they were. And associated with Curb Your Enthusiasm, Jerry Seinfeld show. The last episode of the entire series involves them witnessing a crime. All 4 of them, Jerry, Kramer, Elaine, and George. And they record it with a video camera, but they don't do shit. So they go on trial.
Really?
And the judge sentences them to prison. And that's the last episode. Kind of a shitty ending, but sort of a similar thing where they witnessed this bad thing happening and they didn't do shit about it.
The bystander effect.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, exactly.
I love Seinfeld. He keeps getting questioned about why he quit his show and all that, and he gets all pissed. He goes, well, we left on top.
Yeah.
I'm like, my grandpa did too on a hooker, but we don't think a lot about him, right?
Yeah, you left because you married that 17-year-old Jerry.
Yeah, he stole that bitch away from somebody else. He just took her away.
Yeah, well, that's what you can do, I guess, if you're Jerry Seinfeld.
Ooh. Yeah.
So we're going to talk now here just for a minute about some of the inaccuracies of the original reports. So recent investigations have questioned the original version of events. An article in the New York Times written in 2004 by another famous Jewish guy. A lot of Jewish guys working at the New York Times.
Yes.
Jim Rosenberger, this article is published on the 40th anniversary of Kitty's death, raised numerous questions about the claims of the original Times article. As we stated, there was no evidence for the presence of 38 witnesses or that the witnesses observed the murder and remained inactive. However, we think that there were at least a couple of fucking jabronis that did remain inactive. And after Mosley's death in 2016, the Times called their story flawed, and they stated the following. While there was no question that the attack occurred and that some neighbors ignored cries for help, the portrayal of 38 witnesses as fully aware and unresponsive was erroneous, and the article grossly exaggerated the number of witnesses and what they had perceived. None saw the attack in its entirety. Only a few had glimpsed parts of it or recognized the cries as cries for help. Many thought they had heard lovers or drunks quarreling. There were 2 attacks, not 3, and afterwards 2 people did call the police. A 70-year-old woman ventured out and cradled the dying victim in her arms until they arrived. Miss Genevese died on the way to the hospital. So yeah, crazy.
Insane.
Not nearly as blown out of proportion as the New York Times originally stated, but still a tragedy, and there were some people that could have done more.
Where did he even come up with 38? Where do you get that?
I don't know. They were just trying to sell newspapers, I guess, because, whatever. So because of the layout of the apartment building and the fact that the attacks took place in different locations, no one witness saw the entire sequence of events. So if you remember, she was originally on the street, he stabs her, he runs away, she runs to the stairwell, the back door, out of sight from the street. So the events, they didn't take place in the same location. Police investigators and prosecutors showed that approximately a dozen individuals had seen portions of the attack, though none saw or was aware of the entire sequence of events. Because you'll remember, Mosley did run away. 10 minutes passed. She can't scream, really, because she's just been stabbed 2 times. I know one of the stabbings punctured her lungs. She's bleeding out, and so there's not a lot happening. Only the one witness, Joseph Fink, the parkour boy,
Yes.
was aware Kitty was stabbed in the first attack, and Carl Ross was aware of it in the second attack. Why these assholes didn't do more is debatable, and after the initial attack punctured her lungs, leading to her eventual death, it is unlikely that Kitty was able to scream at any high volume at that point.
Oh, it's so sad. And Kitty had a cool, distinct look about her, kind of like Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah.
I almost said Katharine Hepburn. You remember her?
Yeah.
Have you seen On Golden Pond, that show?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen it, but goodness, I would love to see that. It had Katharine Hepburn and Peter Fonda. Peter Fonda is known to have sex with various women on the set of his movies, so the gross part is his daughter, Jane Fonda, was in the movie too. And Peter's not one to break tradition, so come to daddy.
Yep.
No, Peter and Kathy were both almost 80 in real life in the movie, and they were a married couple in the movie. Mm-hmm. I would have loved to have been a writer for that movie, and I'd write in extremely graphic sex scenes for them, where you can hear their piss slosh around in their catheter bags as they're railing each other. Oh, sorry, Sarah, she's not going to like any of this at all. Her excessive use of denture adhesive would make it so his balls are stuck in her mouth. You know the way Mormons do it. Yes. On Golden Pond, it just ends with him trying to give her a golden shower, but his fucking enlarged prostate makes it so it just shoots in and out like some broken water gun. That would be awesome.
Yes, that would. So that's our show. Very, very tragic thing. Senseless. Mosley was a piece of shit. A lot of positive things sort of came about because of this. A lot of awareness, a lot of research. 911 was created, giving people a centralized number. So, yeah, that's our show. Thanks for listening. Follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook. Email us at listenbeforewegетcanceled@gmail.com. That's cancel with 2 L's. We really appreciate you listening. As always, my name is Cooper.
I'm Scott.
I'm Sarah.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
You'll make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.